You're watching Bet Republic TV with me, James Eastham, and Steve Claridge. And the next game is Tottenham against Sunderland at White Hart Lane. Tottenham looking to bounce back from their 3-0 defeat in the North London derby against Arsenal last week. And the defending was really poor. What effect does that have on a team, Steve, in the dressing room in the week after a game like that? When you've made silly mistakes, is it easier to forget, or does it?
Yeah, no, it is, because it was very. It wasn't the way that Tottenham play, is it? So it was a foreign way to play. I mean, Tottenham, when you're set up like that, the one thing you've got to be is hard to beat, because you're not concentrating on trying to win that game of football. What you're trying to do is you're trying to concentrate on getting something out of it. Probably they went there for a draw. Now he had his three best players out, so in a way it's understandable. But I still think that you send out the wrong messages when you're more worried about changing your system to counteract the opposition. What you're basically saying is they're better than us, so we'll have to change our way of playing to try and stop them playing. And it was always a problem. I mean, they didn't really create anything, Arsenal, up until the goals. But as soon as the goal goes in, then you're trying to change the mindset of your players with regards to, instead of taking a step back, you're asking them to take a step forward. That's very, very difficult unless you change the complexion of the side. So they've got caught cold twice. If you're going to play that way, you've got to be tough to beat. Well, unfortunately, for 5 minutes in that game, they weren't. And then in those 5 minutes, the game was over.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're expecting to see a more typical Tottenham performance here at home. And Sunderland as well, Steve, have been involved in some real great games this year, haven't they? Lots of goals, lots of chances at both ends.
Well, last week at West Ham, I mean, in all honesty, it was an amazing game, because the first half, West Ham were very, very good. They carved Sunderland open at times. Some fantastic play from West Ham, what we imagined from them. And then Sunderland get a man sent off, and all of a sudden, they find a new lease of life. And to be fair, second half, we could have nicked it in the end. And it's that sort of reaction that will sort of, like with Steve Bruce. I mean, they are another side that are winning probably some games that they shouldn't, and losing some games when you think they've turned the corner that they should be winning. So some of these teams are at this stage difficult to get a steer on. You know,
there's a lot of unpredictability.
There is. They're very much so. You know, you think, I'll tell you what, Sunderland just, you'd expect certain games where you would expect them to play well and win, and they don't. And last week was a typical example.
It certainly was. Yeah, it tripped us up, and a lot of other people as well that game. Well, we think Tottenham have got just about enough to win this match. They're 4-7 to do so. So instead, we're backing them on the Asian handicap with a -1 goal start. Now, if Tottenham win the game by just 1 goal, you won't lose. You'll get your stake money back. So you need Tottenham to win by 2 goals or more to have a winning bet here. It's available at 19-20, and Tottenham have won 7 of the last 8 head-to-heads.
There is
at White Hart Lane.
An air of caution, because they've, you look at the width and you go, no Modric, possibly no Lennon. All right, Defoe will be back.
Yeah.
But you've just got to approach this game with a degree of caution. If you've got Lennon, you've got Modric, and you've got Defoe back, then you lump on Tottenham big style. But you just have to, appreciate that they're not going to be that fluent going forward as they would be. And we've seen the miss that those 2 wide players can be for them as well.
Absolutely. It changes the way they play. The second bet, we're a bit stronger on this one. Both teams to score is available at 3-4. 10 of Tottenham's 11 league games this season, both teams have scored, and the same applies to 8 of Sunderland's 11. So looking at those stats, 3-4 is a decent price. Yeah. You're watching the Bet Republic Premier League preview show with me, James Eastham, and Steve Claridge. And after you finish watching the show, you can head over and check out everything else that Bet Republic has got to offer. You can set up your own profile, and you can read all the latest football betting blogs. And to place some bets with us, all you need to do is click on the Bet UK link, which you'll find on the site.